Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. The outcomes of the meeting between President Trump and Field Marshal ASIM Munir have started coming out. Yes, the biggest result has now surfaced, one that President Trump had seemingly held back for quite some time. He had to finalize America's strategic and operational preparations before making this announcement. That's why his last meeting, just before this announcement, was with Field Marshal Munir. The final threads of the plan that were left were, it appears, woven together in that meeting, and just a few hours later President Trump made the announcement, a declaration of war against Iran. He has now given a definitive timeline. The White House has officially confirmed that within the next 2 weeks the United States will decide the final date to strike Iran. It is clear if Iran completely concedes and gives the United States what it wants, the war may be averted. But Iran does not seem to be doing that. So the United States has now issued a final timeline. Before issuing it, they waited for this meeting to happen. International media is also breaking this story, and we'll present that to you so you can understand why Trump made the announcement after meeting ASIM Munir. He could have done it earlier. This conflict has been building for days, but he waited for this meeting. Right after it, an official statement was released from the White House quoting President Trump. According to the White House spokesperson, Trump will decide the exact date for the Iran strike within the next 2 weeks. This development has been taken so seriously that United States financial institutions have already shown reactions. As I've said before, when a storm is coming, birds react first. Similarly, when the United States is heading toward war or a major event, financial markets reflect it first. Immediately after Trump's announcement, the Nasdaq dropped more than 200 points. Major stocks plunged, making it clear that America is indeed heading for war. Trump didn't say the attack would be in 2 weeks. He said it could happen at any moment within 2 weeks. This will naturally cause fluctuations in the stock exchange, confidence rising and falling. But what's now confirmed is that Field Marshal ASIM Munir's meeting was a crucial link in deciding when to attack. International media outlets, CNN, Reuters, ABC News, CNBC, CNN News 18, Al Jazeera, all have covered what happened in the Trump-Munir meeting. According to CNN News 18, Pakistan has been asked to provide air bases, ground support, and naval passage. This implies that if Iran is attacked, it's not like Iraq or Afghanistan. Iran is a far stronger military power than both. If war in Afghanistan could last for years, and Iraq's war also dragged on, then if a war breaks out with Iran, it could last for years. That's why the United States needs not just air access, but ground and sea support as well. CNN News 18 made it very clear that these requests were discussed and made. Clearly, Trump must have gained some confidence in that meeting, which led to his immediate announcement of a war plan. As I said before, this was the final meeting before the decision. Now, only one option remains to avoid the attack. If Iran unconditionally surrenders, something Trump had already demanded, if Iran unconditionally surrenders, the war would be off. That would likely mean regime change, nuclear program rollback, and abandoning its independent foreign policy. But since Iran doesn't appear willing to do any of that, Trump has now officially laid out his timeline. As I mentioned earlier, Trump must have received what he needed from Pakistan, which is why he finalized the war plan. Now, it's not just us saying this is significant. Even well-known journalists like Talat Hussein and Muneeb Farouk, who are generally skeptical, are now criticizing this move, which shows how serious the matter is. We will also play you a 1.5-minute analysis by Najam Sethi at the end of this week's segment. Sethi's view will reflect much of what we've been saying over the past 2 days, and we'll play his take because he's not pro-Imran Khan, nor is he pro-PTI. He is close to the establishment, intelligent, and has been close to Nawaz Sharif and Asif Zardari too. So his analysis holds weight. He understands international matters and history. Now here's something else important. In the past few weeks, President Trump has praised only 3 individuals globally. At the recent G7 summit, where leaders from the world's top countries gathered, Trump praised none of them. The three people he praised recently are Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister. Trump called him a good man and someone he likes very much. Narendra Modi, Indian Prime Minister, for what he has done in Gujarat, Kashmir and overall against Muslims in India. Field Marshal ASIM Munir. Yes, Trump praised Munir alongside Netanyahu and Modi. So it is a significant honor for Field Marshal Munir to be praised in this trio. The question now is, what services did Munir provide that put him in the same category as Netanyahu and Modi? Do their personalities or actions have common traits? That I leave to you to interpret. Now let's move to the Iran-Israel conflict happening at the moment. It's not just skirmishes, it's now a missile war. Not yet a ground war, but intense missile and aerial battles are underway. Iran has launched its biggest attack yet on Israel on Thursday. According to BBC, it was so massive that Tel Aviv looked like Gaza during Israeli bombardment. Not the whole city, but parts of it were severely damaged. BBC reports that buildings were destroyed due to Iran's heavy missile strikes. Surprisingly, however, there are no reports of high casualties. Yes, dozens of injuries have been reported, and one of the sites struck was a medical center or hospital. Israel has often accused Palestinian groups of hiding military infrastructure under civilian areas. Now it is becoming evident that Israel itself has placed major parts of its military infrastructure under civilian zones, like basements of buildings in populated areas. So when Iran targets those installations, civilian buildings collapse, and Israel claims innocent people are being targeted. That's what BBC is now highlighting as well. So many buildings have been destroyed, but the number of casualties is not as high. However, this is the largest missile attack, an assault involving missiles, and the images and videos emerging are making it even clearer that Israel's Iron Dome, or its missile defense system, which intercepts and destroys missiles mid-air, is either exhausted or no longer effective. Now, Iranian missiles are hitting with more intensity, greater accuracy, and increased frequency than before. One video shows a massive building, the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange building in Israel, either destroyed or significantly damaged after being hit by a missile. Alongside this, Iran has made a major claim. It has captured 18 agents, allegedly Mossad spies. They claim these are the spies who were manufacturing drones inside Iran. Recall, when Iran initiated its latest operations, it had assassinated several top military leaders of Israel on the very first day. It was later discovered those assassinations were carried out using drones launched from within. We had shown on the map that 80 kilometers outside Tehran, a location, possibly a warehouse or estate related to agriculture, was rented out where drones were assembled. They were launched at such a time that drones came from one side and Israeli planes and missiles attacked from the other side, leading to the assassination of military leadership. Now Iran says it has arrested 18 Mossad agents, spies working for Mossad, along with weapons and drones. These spies were building drones to use in future attacks. They were caught in Mashhad near Tehran. So this operation is now ongoing near Mashhad. The next major news is that an Al Jazeera photographer has been detained. He is a journalist, of course, and the reason for his detention is that he was covering the area where a missile landed. Authorities suspect that either his coverage led to the missile strike or he provided exact footage after the strike that could benefit Iran. So he has been detained. Al Jazeera is now trying to secure his release. Israel is currently under tremendous pressure. Iran's missile barrage is ongoing, and it remains to be seen how long it continues. On the other hand, Israel has hacked into Iran's banking sector. Systems of 3 or 4 major banks have been compromised. As a result, people are unable to withdraw funds, check balances, or use ATMs. So the banking system has been jammed. Also, when there was a recent cryptocurrency scandal in Pakistan, we explained how globally, especially Bitcoin, is mined where electricity is cheap because mining one Bitcoin requires a massive amount of power, 350,000 electric units. In Pakistan, the electricity alone for mining one Bitcoin would cost around 555,000. But in countries with cheap electricity like Iran and Lebanon, a Bitcoin could be mined for as little as 26 or 66. In Iran, a single Bitcoin may cost just 500 to produce, meaning Iran could produce 27 Bitcoins for the price others pay for one. Because of this, Iran had crypto mining units operating. Now, $90 million worth of cryptocurrency has been hacked, and since crypto is digital, it has been transferred to wallets from which Iran may not be able to recover it. This is a significant financial attack on Iran's banks and its crypto systems. Israel's defense minister has said that since Iran attacked our hospital, they will now ensure Ayatollah Khamenei does not survive. He must die. In response, Ayatollah Khamenei warned, "If harm comes to our top leadership, the Middle East will witness something no one has imagined." He didn't specify what he meant, but warned that the consequences would be severe. Next, Reza Pahlavi, son of the former Shah of Iran and heir apparent, has now expressed readiness to govern. He's pushing for regime change and is very close to Israel. Even his children's weddings were recently held there. He has now declared that Ayatollah Khamenei has lost control and the end of the current regime is near. He claims to have prepared a transitional government for the first 100 days, followed by a national democratic government. He has already formed a shadow cabinet. He says he's ready. First, the interim government for 100 days, then a national government, and then elections. Reza Pahlavi has released a full blueprint for how regime change in Iran will proceed and how he'll take over. This makes it clear that ground intervention is now inevitable. Airstrikes are already happening, but Reza Pahlavi's preparation, with Trump and Netanyahu having already hinted at regime change, makes ground invasion, boots on the ground, inevitable. In that, the role of the field marshal becomes extremely important. But the matter doesn't end here. As soon as Reza Pahlavi made these statements, our own Geo News began running stories along the same lines. This shows how orchestrated the whole narrative is. On one side, there are airstrikes. On another, meetings with the field marshal. CNN News 18 is saying Israel has requested military bases from Pakistan, including ground and naval cooperation. Meanwhile, Reza Pahlavi is laying out a full regime change blueprint. And our own channel is now running stories about who might be in power after the fall of the Iranian regime. When Geo News runs such stories, it's not random. Their chief strategist, Mir Sahib, takes pride in crafting such narratives. Believing that no one can match his storytelling, they build these narratives meticulously with ads, public opinion, TV programs, articles, and selected analysts. It's a full, all-guns-blazing media strategy. In Pakistan, they call this their Tura-e-Imtiaz, a matter of pride. They take it seriously and aim to cause damage. So far, the only place they've failed is with Imran Khan and the people of Pakistan. Despite 3 years of effort working with generals, they couldn't shape the narrative. Before that, they had been quite successful. That's why the military establishment both despises and relies on them, using their narratives when needed. So, you can see just how serious this regime change is. Its footprints are already visible in Pakistan. Lastly, I wanted to discuss the situation with the Islamabad High Court judges, but this topic took all the time. We'll cover that in tomorrow morning's vlog. For now, listen to Najam Sethi's 1-minute analysis. He is not pro-Imran Khan, so his perspective matters more. If I say it, you might think I'm being biased. But if Najam Sethi is saying similar things, imagine what the PMLN leadership is thinking. He says, there's no such thing as a free lunch, especially in America. In American culture, there's always a price. You owe me. They treat every interaction like a transaction, just like America supported Zia-ul-Haq, Ayub Khan, Musharraf. The atmosphere now feels very similar. There's talk already of where Pakistan will be in 2030. But I must remind you of what Henry Kissinger said, being America's enemy is dangerous, but being its friend is even more dangerous. There are no real friendships with America. Ayub Khan, despite receiving a standing ovation in Congress and writing Friends Not Masters, learned this the hard way. In reality, with America, there are no friends, only interests. You might think you've built a good relationship with the United States president, but it doesn't matter. America is too big. Policies are based on United States state interests, not friendships. So, be very cautious about commitments you make to them. Trump may be straightforward, but his objectives may not align with yours. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.